let's first talk a little bit about cyberbullying. I told the story this morning to the teachers, but I remember my bully. I had a bully. Her name was Julie. I would say her last name, but I won't be that cruel. In any case, she was in 6th grade when I was in 5th grade, and we had 6th grade in our elementary school. And every day she rode the bus, and she would yell things at me, which at the time were very cruel. She used to call me Little Bo Peep. She's like, I'm going to get you, Little Bo Peep. I'm going to get you. And I was saying, thank you that you ride the bus and I walk, because you will never get me because you ride the bus. And I thought, she can't get me because, you know, we're in school, and then she goes her separate ways, and I don't even know where she lives. Julie one day did follow me home with a boy from my class. His name was Fernando. I shouldn't say his last name because he was an accomplice to a very bad thing. And they came across the schoolyard, and she's coming and she's punching her hands, and I'm going to get you, Little Bo Peep. And he held my arms behind my back. And my sister saved me. She kicked him in the shins and she said, run! And we ran all the way home, and she didn't hurt me. But guess what? No one knew about that. No one ever knew unless I told them. And Julie never bothered me again, ever. She never tried to do anything again. But this is such a different time now. Bullies can reach you anywhere you are. And they're saying way harsher things than calling kids Little Bo Peep and doing way harsher things to them. Just so you know the law, the cyberbullying law. Cyberbullying is something that's harassing or humiliating, that is the person feels threatened either physically or that their property is being threatened. And it's something that's disruptive to them, typically in a school environment. Additionally, this is the punishment. So if found guilty of cyberbullying, there are some pretty stiff punishments associated with it. Now the school, in Indiana, there's a law that the school must have a cyberbullying provision. They have to provide some kind of support. However, you don't have any legal recourse. If the school doesn't protect someone who's being cyberbullied, you can't sue the school in Indiana. As far as my interpretation of the law, I'm not a lawyer, maybe some of you are, and you can really hash that out. In any case, you need to be the primary source for children to come to you in terms of cyberbullying. Again, I want you to think of this from the perspective of both the perpetrator and the victim. You may not have a child who you think is going to be bullied, but do you have a child who has the potential to harm someone else online? If so, you need to think of these consequences and alert your children of them. If they harass someone, if they hurt someone online, they face some very severe legal consequences. And how often are they doing it? This is a study, this is just graph from a Schneider study. They looked at cyberbullying from 2006 to 2012 with 17,000 high school students in 16 Boston high schools. And they wanted to see what's happening with school bullying, so the type that's taking place face-to-face, and cyberbullying. And as you can see by this figure, cyberbullying is definitely on the increase, whereas school bullying has stayed pretty much stable, and it's actually gone down a little bit, especially among boys. School bullying has really gone down. So now we have almost equal rates of school bullying and cyberbullying. But school bullying is really visible. The teachers here see it. They report it to the administrators. Cyberbullying is invisible. Unless a child comes to you and tells you that they've been cyberbullied, how are you to know? And I don't know that you know this, but only 1/3 of cyberbullying victims ever report it to any adult. They are more likely to report it to you, a family member. 29% report it to a family member, and only 17% report it to someone who is a non-family adult. So you are on the front line of this. But the fact that only 1/3 are reporting it means that there are a lot of kids who are being missed. Who's the most likely to be bullied? Girls. Girls are more likely to be cyberbullied. People who are not heterosexual are more likely to be cyberbullied, but there is absolutely no distinction among grade. From 9 to 12, the rates of cyberbullying are the same. It doesn't increase with age. Not only that, there's no differentiation with ethnicity. There is no differentiation with socioeconomic status. You may think you have a good kid, and I'm sure many of you do have good kids. This is not a good kid, bad kid issue. This is a way that relational aggression, the type of aggression where people are trying to hurt people's relationships, hurt people's reputations, has now been put online. And what used to occur in the hallways is now something that is there forever and has the potential to really have some stiff consequences for your child. I want to talk to you a little bit about suicidal ideation. Cyberbullying has been associated with suicide. Children who've been cyberbullied are much more likely to have contemplated, attempted suicide than children who have not been cyberbullied. And remember, 2/3 of these aren't telling anyone that they're being cyberbullied. So this is a good time to talk about Amanda Todd. How many people have heard of Amanda Todd? A couple of you. So Amanda Todd was a British Columbia teenager. She had met an anonymous person while on Chat Roulette. Chat Roulette is an application where you go on, and typically people go on it with friends, and it'll just randomly link you with someone anonymous, okay? And during that time when she was on Chat Roulette, she met someone who later friend requested her. And so she accepted their friend request on Facebook. And this person was so flattering to her that he actually convinced her to flash him. So she flashed him online. She was 13 when she did this. And he took a picture of it and then threatened to circulate it around her school. And he did. He circulated it to hundreds of people that were associated with Amanda Todd. And she has a really moving, if you can search for it, a really moving YouTube clip. You know, she does one of those things where she just holds up pieces of paper that say a message. And she talks about the fact that she made a big mistake. She flashed this person, and then he threatened her. And he kept saying, I'm going to do this again. And so she moved schools, and he did it again. So much so that Amanda Todd tried to commit suicide. She drank bleach. They saved her, but a few months after that bleach drinking incident, she ultimately killed herself because of this bullying. They found the person who did it, 35-year-old man from the Netherlands. Your children can not only be hurt by anonymous people here, they can be hurt by anonymous people anywhere. And the fact that this was an adult, a 35-year-old man, ruining the reputation of a high school child is really, really eye-opening to me. The fact that your children could be touched by someone like this. And that's really showing you too how dangerous the anonymity part of the internet is.